Hello, hello, welcome guys. How are you? We have Tompa 31 English. Yeah, English today. Yeah, right now it's a Command Deck podcast. It's always in English. Fridays, usually Fridays, unless we have a problem or anything, but usually Fridays. So 9 p.m. UTC and welcome. So we have here Drum Carlos. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you guys
Hello.
again. After
Yeah.
after a week rest, now we're back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say anything about last week. Okay, some dude. How are you?
I'm doing real good, man. It's really good to see everybody. I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about this week, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
What a week.
Solas. How are you, Solas?
Good morning, Galia. But doing good, doing good. Excited to jump into it.
Cool, cool. And we have also Grist. Grist, how are you?
Hey guys, doing good. I apologize to any of the listeners if you hear a screaming, yodeling child. That is my daughter. But doing good. Also, Boom Buddies, that's what we hear in the background. Doing good this week.
Great to have you here, guys. No problem at all with family. This is like a big family already, and we are just chatting in a friendly way. So it's all good, all good. So Eduardo Barban, hello, welcome. So we're gonna talk about Starbased and search test tomorrow. So those are the main things happening these days in Star Atlas. Big things. So we have big changes in Starbased. First, we can talk about the first impressions that we had after the launch. We had 2 weeks of like uh, middle phase
Transition. Yeah.
transition phase, and then we have some other changes, especially about scanning and SDUs, but some other changes to some
Some balancing, right?
adjusting, some balancing, adjusting things, some values for some things that change the economy in a big way sometimes. So everything is moving, changing, and being balanced. And well, we Drum Carlos, can you tell us in just 1 minute or less how what can you tell us about Starbased? What is Starbased for people who don't know what it is?
Well, Starbase. What a change, right? It's a very big change for those that spend a lot of time in labs. There's two ways at looking at this. There's the glass half full way of looking at this, which is, well, now we're into the next period, and we're into the next evolution of the game, and now we have to coordinate within our faction, which is a new dynamic that we didn't have before. And it's been really cool to jump on that random server with people from several clans of your faction and try to organize everybody towards a single goal. In the other hand, those that we had the pleasure of enjoying labs for a few months, we are missing those returns because things are now much harder, and you have a lot more elements, and you need to spend a lot of stuff, a lot of resources on keeping the faction going. So it's been interesting. And as you said, there were these 2 weeks of transition where we had the Starbase, all the new system, all the new dynamics, but we still had labs. So many people were half and half. Some of us that we've been busy with real life, we were still moving resources out. It took me forever, like at least 60, 70, maybe 100 trips to the CSS to move my stuff out. So it was hard labor, man. I hope that we don't change servers too often because it was painful and not cheap with all the fuel spent. I'm super excited to see that the team is already starting to bring patches and updates and balancing out. Because let's not, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt at the beginning. It hurt. So that's
Yeah.
my impressions of labs.
Have you been enjoying it?
On a quick, on a quick synopsis of it.
Have you been enjoying it? Like, are you enjoying it like you did in labs?
I haven't spent a lot of time in Starbase. So I've been slowly moving. I moved all my resources, then I moved most of my chips while I finished moving the rest. And now I'm starting to get settled in. I'm starting to get some, to start producing food and fuel, which you have to produce now, so you can also contribute to keep the star bases active, and then you can focus on what you actually want to mine and where you want to get some return. So I'm still putting my feet there. I'm still dividing my fleets and setting up my loops, but it's looking good now, and I'm glad that this live people have been on point, bringing updates to the automation right away. Like that when they did the last patch, I think Grooving had a patch like in 30 minutes. It's insane.
Yeah.
I've been playing in manual this whole time. And I mean, so it's hard, but it's it's kind of more like playing an actual game.
Is it
And
though?
I mean, I don't know, because like I used to play games back in the day when the game would ask you a question like, "Hey, you want to walk into the forest?" and you'd be like, "Yes." Like, so for me, it is kind of like a game, but I want to. You have to, eventually you have to do the automation because you cannot waste your whole nighttime where your ships
Yeah.
are doing nothing.
Yeah. Do
To
you
me, the
remember
biggest
the
difference,
promotion? Do you remember when Jerome Carroll said he felt like being promoted to a
Yeah,
yeah,
I got
manager?
yeah,
promoted to supervisor of my fleet. But it's one thing when the game tells you, "Do you want to go to the forest?" And it's a completely different thing when the game tells you, "You want a step forward? Okay. You want another step forward? Okay. You want
mhm.
another step forward."
Yeah. Yeah. You have to
I love
click for each
hitting
step.
the scan button over and over and over again. Scan, scan, scan.
Yeah.
You
But
know, one
anyway,
thing.
yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
Go on, go
I
on.
was gonna
No,
say,
no,
did
go
you
on.
guys realize how much you were gonna need to use your fleets as crafters? Like, have you experienced it? Like, right now, I have 3 ships out of my 90 ships are in the air. All the other ones are in the stations crafting.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crafting has been like a big thing in Starbase. Maybe the name it should be something like craft based, something like that, because it's huge. Yeah, I think uh, it's not only a problem for small fleets, for small guys. It's also a problem for medium-sized fleets. I think only only like big fleets or almost whales have really the power and the fleets to to go really far away from the CSS and do everything, because to go far from the CSS you need transport, then you need miners, and then you need to craft whatever you mine there if you want to be profitable there, and not having to bring everything back to the CSS to craft. So you need like everything, and that's only for big fleets. I mean, for medium-sized fleets or less, I see a lot of people doing just like I stay near the CSS, and I try to focus on one thing, one job, or two things, or maybe mining and selling directly, or mining and selling a part of it, and then crafting a part of it, and then selling. So yeah, crafting. Uh, well, we already saw a lot of extra small ships being sold. So that's
Well, you
crazy.
remember you remember when they came out with the manual, the Sage manual, about what, a year and a half ago? They came out with
Yeah,
this manual that was basically explaining how they were thinking about Sage, and the steps that they wanted to do. And they did explain that you would need to use crew to craft.
yeah,
So back then we had that internal joke in our guild that we had to buy slaves, because you're going to need those slaves, and those slaves are the cheapest chip you can get, because you only care about the crew member. Everything else is going to be just stuck there in that space station while you craft. So back then I started buying, but there's a big difference in between buying 20 bikes and realizing that you need 200 crew or 300 crew. And now in labs we got spoiled, because in labs, if you were organized, you could do everything, right? You could do a little bit of scanning, a little bit of mining, transporting, refining, moving, selling. Here you have to be a lot smarter, because everything is more complex. And if you want to craft, you need a lot of crew members, so you can craft in the time that you have available, because the Starbase may not be running 24/7. So, but I think it's annoying when you compare returns, but I think labs was too good to be true.
Yeah.
This was bound to happen. And as long as the team stays on top of it and they keep balancing it out, I think we're up for some fun.
Yeah, I think the crew, the Starbase, upgrade. You have to keep that base functional with toolkits or food. So now you're limited on that craft time. So you need to have as many crafters as possible to make that time
Yeah.
a short timer, or your crew's gonna be stuck, and then you'll have to abandon, that's that crafting. So like 100, 200, 300 crew, which I thought it was going to be enough, is definitely not. Like you almost need 500 or more if you really want to craft a significant amount of
Yeah.
things. But and also with everything going on, that's the biggest hang up is crew. And I wonder if this is why I think crew members, the crew airdrop or whatever, the exchange thing with your ships and selling crew, I believe that's like any day right now.
How much
I
you think
hope
that's
they're
going to cost?
Yeah.
Like
I'm
how much? How
guessing-
much you think a pack of crew, like 20 crew members, will cost?
Well, so they sell. I think they're selling crew in 5 packs, and I'm guessing anywhere from I don't know. I don't think they're going to be as expensive as people think. So I'm thinking $10-$20.
What about an anomaly? What do you think of the anomaly will go? 1 of 500
Well, 1 of 500. Like, isn't that
or the
like,
500 one? Yeah, the anomaly ones. And
yeah, I
by
don't
the way,
think you can buy those, right?
so you'd be able to trade it. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
I don't
secondary market though, and that will get insane because of the scarcity. Because when you buy
Yeah.
crews, going from what they explained, we just buy a random. Like if it's 5 crew, they will be random, and most likely most of them are going to be common. But
Yeah.
I think the first drop for those of us that have a bunch of ships for crafting, it's going to be interesting because we may get a good chance of doing it now, because otherwise it's going to be hard.
Are they going to
But
be like
I like
Pokemon cards?
expensive.
Catch them all.
They're going to be like Pokemon, where it's like, oh shit, look, he's got 15 attack.
Yeah, I think crew. I really think crew's gonna go nuts on the secondary market.
Well,
Yeah.
wait. Well, some dude, you said something interesting. So think about how they're saying that how they have attributes. So imagine like you have a crew of 5 in a ship. I wonder if it's all about finding the crew that you want that's already maxed out and what you need. And so when you face a ship, you don't know the attributes of their crew. So it's almost like every engagement's going to be unique.
But just like the Sage economy, it's going to be complex, and there's going to be a million ways to do a thing, and there's not going to be a definitive like best way to do things. You can combine and the crew, the modules. Now that with the crew is going to come the modules, so now you can tweak your ships, and then the support ships for that ship. It's going to be insane. Agent Solast, you got a C11, so you have a bunch of ships that you can put on that.
Yeah,
It'd be like some dude. How come all your crew members are super hot chicks in bikinis?
That's mine. Yeah, my whole crew's going to be AI waifus for my whole entire crew.
all of your crew is going to be
Exactly.
all
I'm buying all the female crew.
all of your crew is going to be Austin Power fembots.
Yeah, exactly. It. Well, I told you guys.
Bunch of people in chat. Hi, Shaddix. How you doing?
What's up,
Yeah.
Shaddix? Number one on the bottom.
So there's an interesting thing that it's supposed to come late, not so soon, but it's gonna change everything, and we would need that, I think, right now. That it's the local markets and the ability to give our cargo to someone else. So
Yeah,
that would change completely the game right now. That would make it possible to go far from the CSS for everybody and stay in any other starbase and just mine if you don't have a big fleet, and just mine, for example, or just scan and sell it there, right there. Or you can also hire other people, other fleets to transport your things, your resources to somewhere else, if you could give that cargo to someone else. But right now we don't have that, and I think this game this game should really have it. I think it really needs it. I think it's a big thing for development, but maybe Starclass should prioritize that, because
I
I didn't
agree. I
expect it
think
to be
that the
so important.
interaction, all the teamwork is being done outside of the game. All the
Right.
teamwork is being done in Discord.
Yeah,
So that would bring teamwork into the game, and that would allow us to help our team members. And because I have a transport fleet, I can help all my all small fleet team members, and okay, I'll get your stuff to MRC4, and then from there you can grab it and take it. But right now I can't. It's still a solo game with now a way more complex environment, and yeah,
yeah,
it's interesting. But that's coming. We know
See,
it's coming.
I was talking to Ace King. I was like, well, maybe we have to do something like set up an escrow account where we just dump in a billion food and a billion toolkits, and then some of the guys that can move 2 million, 3 million at a time can just access it and take it, and then but then it's like, okay, well they don't charge you to move it, but then is the LP that they're going to get from that if we could coordinate that in game, it'd be a lot better.
for sure.
Part of me feels like as we upgrade the star bases, there should be more functionality. It shouldn't just be you get better crafting. It should be like, okay, now this is a level 2 star base. There's logistics between level 2 bases. Or
Right.
right, like, okay, so now I can ship from the CSS to here for a small fee, and then it could go lower as it gets more advanced. And then like it gets to level 5. Okay, now I can do wallet imports to this base because
I
this is
like
a
that.
full
That's
tier base.
huge.
And then it gives you more incentive. Like it's like, okay, well, great. Now I can craft toolkits here. That's so exciting.
I like that. That's interesting. Like, yeah, that would be cool to have, wallet accessibility once you're maxed out at that base, or like, even if you're level 2, hey, your infrastructure for this base, okay, less fuel going to another, leaving this base going to another base, you spend less fuel if this base is upgraded to level 2 or something like that. That would be interesting. I like that idea.
Yeah, especially
Absolutely. I think that the
if we don't
developers
have
must be
local
rolling their
markets.
eyes. Like, do you think we don't want to add
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Must be like, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know,
for
guys.
sure.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, but I know they can't add everything, but maybe prioritize these things.
Prioritize.
This, yeah, maybe not coming too soon, but not so late. Because right now I think it's gonna be very late, as I
Yeah,
remember.
the Star Atlas method is been including the community from the get-go, getting the community involved in the funding of the
Yes.
project on every step. So I don't understand why the DAC and the player profile have not been a priority, because the game is going to be so much better when the community is involved within and can work teamwork and compete with each other from the teamwork standpoint. So I don't understand why we're going to have exercise to level characters app before we have that.
Did you guys see what Wagner said about the DAC the other day?
No, what do you say?
So he came
The
out
stuff
and
on plugin on the third person.
he asked if the community would be supportive of them spending money on a third party to come finish the DAC and get it
Oh
out
yeah, yeah.
quickly because they want to prioritize it, but I don't know. I think they might not have the people to do it. So he
Uh,
put a poll out and it's like, if we reimbursed ourselves from the deck to pay for this, would you be mad? And I was like, nope,
Hell
do
yeah,
it.
that'd be awesome.
As long as we get that money back, because I feel like it's the company's job to put that out. As long as we are reimbursed from the DAO, because they said they were going to build it for us. So I think the Autonoma should be building it for it or refunding us for it. So
But that would be using the funds that belong to everyone in a decentralized way to speed up the process, right? And he's asking, are you guys okay with that? If you're not, okay, we'll take our time. It's going to take time. It's not going to be this year. It might be next one. But if you guys want, there's this money there sitting. We could use part of it for a specific project, get it done parallel while we're developing these other areas. And I'm okay with that because what's more decentralized than a DAO funding itself?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
just
I'm, I'm,
put
I'm
up for
all
a
for
vote.
it. I'm all
They should
for it. Just repay us.
yeah, I look at it, they put up for a vote and then we decide. And because isn't it Spirasoft? Do we even know? Are they still involved in the UE5 side?
I think they are, yeah, to some level, because they were never full-time hires, so they were never let go. They were just
Yeah,
reduced on the load of work. But Unreal Engine 5 hasn't stopped. On the contrary, it has exploded in the last
yeah,
few months.
it's crazy. They shipped a really really fun movement shooter out of nowhere almost.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about Surge very soon, in just a minute. But before that,
Uh,
what do you think about the SDUs and the scanning changes and the balancing changes they made to the food and the toolkits LPs and all that?
I think the SDU is going to be a tricky one because now for those that didn't play labs and are seeing this, in labs we have a mechanical SDU scanning. I think they're called survey data units. Is that right? That's what
I think
SDU
so.
stands for.
I think
But
so.
it's
Yeah.
basically, yeah, it is basically data that you collect randomly out there on the star bases, outside the star bases, and you bring it back, and that used to be one of the main components for an economic loop called RFRs, which was a component that you could create with this and a bunch of other resources, and Automata would buy it from you at a fixed price. Now we have all these other LP mechanic, which is loyalty points. So when you do stuff that benefits the faction, like the maintenance or the upgrade of bases, you get these LP points. And that's the only utility right now of SDU. They are used for upgrading bases. But at the prices we had SDUs that last time that, in labs, they were around between 80.80 and 1 Atlas each. And right now, the LP equivalent of an SDU is like 0.015 Atlas. So those prices are going to crumble down. The amount of SDU units without the limits that they just put now, you're going to get a lot more. If the maximum before was 10 per fleet, now if you have data runners, you can get 150, 200, even up to 300 if you're in the right area. But now the price is going to come down because otherwise that loop is going to fail. Because who's going to spend a lot of money to buy SDUs to contribute it to get a few Atlas back
Yeah.
from
I
the.
think that the current SDU mechanic is probably illegal. Like I honestly I believe that it is gambling, right? It's like a slot machine where I pay, a 2 cents worth of Solana, and then a little thing rolls, and it says, "Boom, you failed." Like, and oh, you didn't get you get nothing, you get nothing, you get nothing, and then finally you get something. It's the only mechanic in the game where you can spend your money and get nothing, right? Like at least with like the other things, like you dock, it's going to dock. Like you're going to do it, right? It's going to, but this it can fail. So what I think they need to do is scrap the whole model and change it to where you have warp, sub warp, and scan warp, right? And you set your destination as you're scanning. It has a distance, and then it's burning fuel and food, kind of like mining would, right? With and ammo and food. And as it goes, you're collecting a certain amount of STUs, and that you're always going to get it, and you're not going to get charged for nothing. Because it really is. I mean, if you think about it, it's like putting a quarter in a slot machine. And you don't know. It might happen, might not. Most times, the answer is not.
I like that idea. That's good.
Yeah, interesting.
It wouldn't
Yes.
go as far because I don't know now because I haven't tried because those mechanics were just updated a couple nights ago. But in labs, you knew exactly, well, not exactly, but you had a very good idea of your average of SDUs phone per day. At least if you were automated, that you have certain amount of fleets covering certain area, and you know that the little clouds of probabilities move around in that area, and when some fleets didn't catch, some did. And average, you knew that you had whatever amount of SDUs a day. Sometimes it would be a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but you had a good idea. And this time it's going to be the same. We're just going to need some time for the market to adjust those prices and those benefits, and then find out if the Solana priority fees are worth paying for. Because that's a new element that we have to deal now. This is the first launch that we have to deal with that element. And it's hurting the small player the most. Because if you have 2x4 ships, you only have two little ships that you were able to buy because you don't have a lot of cash. You want to bring them to Starbase. You are just to import them, open your account, bring them over, send some resources, and load them up in the CSS. You're going to spend about $6 just to bring them in. A guy with a 3 arrow, he's going to spend exactly the same amount to bring his ship. So for him, it's way much less of an impact than to a small player. And then the small player have to deal with this, priority fees for every action, and then increase fuel price, increase ammo price, and some of the mechanics that we were used to do with labs, now they're worth much less. So we need some time to let the market stabilize, and the Startless needs to keep bringing patches and balancing out. It's gonna take
I
some
Well,
have
time.
a,
I
I
will
have
say
a
though,
I have a middle idea, like an idea in between of those things, like the current mechanic and what you said. Instead of going far away, like traveling, we could have the same mechanic, for example, but just having like one time scanning, one transaction to scan, and then you can get like between a range, between, for example, 100 SDUs or 2000 SDUs, and you stay there for a long time, or a very long time for cooldown, for example, but you scan only once, like having every scanning we do now, but together. Uh, do you understand my idea? It's like put all of the scanning clicks together into only one scan, and then you get the whole amount, and it would make it almost
Covering a
impossible to
larger
get
area?
zero. What?
Would that be like covering a larger area?
Not necessarily.
And
Maybe
be
only
able
one
to scan.
sector. Maybe only one
Okay.
sector. But if you stay for 1 hour scanning, like 1,000 clicks to scan 1,000 times, well, in 1 hour you can just click once, and after 1 hour get the same amount of SDUs. An average
And
of
for an
of
hour.
what you would get.
you mean like having a start scan button and then having a stop scan button, right?
Yeah.
So where
Just like
Maybe.
mining.
it just goes. Yeah.
But you don't even need the stop button. You can just click once, and it's like, okay, you scan, and the cooldown can be for like 1 hour, for example, or half an hour or whatever, but a very long time. But you get the amount of SDUs that you would get in 1 hour before. So you don't spend the transactions fees for 1,000 transactions, and it would be not like gambling, because you will never get zero, because
Right.
it would be all the 1 hour together of scanning.
A
So
whole mission.
yeah, and it would be simple, because for development it wouldn't be a change so big. It's
Yeah.
like just change the cooldown and do one scan in 1 hour, for example.
Yeah,
Just an
as long
idea.
as it was never failed, like you never got zero, I'd be cool with it. Because
Yeah.
and like I don't want to pay 3 cents and have it fail. And I know it's like 3 cents, but 3 cents 5,000 times adds up.
Oh yeah, it does.
So Kepler, it's sort of like the player is putting a time commitment in, and not just every time they're doing a transaction, the end result's going to be the same thing. Whatever the algorithm says, it's going to be the same thing. It's just they're locked in for an hour.
Yeah, like a mission. I'm sending you on a 1 hour mission, a scanning mission, and just come back and let's see how much you brought back. That would be a good solution.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys something. We had some a little bit of a drama on the main chat in Star Atlas recently because you have this side of your playing now that you have to contribute with your faction. But there are a couple players that they are big players, maybe too big for one faction or so they say. And they have been exploiting the system in all three factions. And there were some people that were not really happy about it. Do you think that's the player's fault or that's the team's fault?
Team's fault.
It would be interesting to have those two individuals come on and have a civilized debate and how they think about things.
I mean, the reason why. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was gonna say I was mad, but then after all that happened, all of a sudden I couldn't craft anywhere because nowhere had toolkits, and I was like, "I'd bring the whales back. Come back, give me my toolkits, fill up all these stations. Okay, I want to be able to go where I want to go." And instead, I was just sitting there. I was like, "All right, I just mine copper for the next 4 days while I wait for someone to get some toolkits."
If they do that, there's no problem. I think, but the problem was because they were not putting any food or toolkits in Starbases. They at first they were just coming and looking at, okay, where is already filled up with toolkits or food, and then I just drop all my components and get a lot of LPs. So it was like extracting value only. Now maybe they are contributing in some ways, and well, it's not illegal and it's not so bad if they contribute in some ways, as you say.
I mean, the reason why I said the team's fault is in any game, someone's gonna find like an exploit, and it's sort of like you can't fault someone for finding something that benefits them. And as we go more and more in this game, it's going to keep coming up. But what is good about this team is that I think that they tried their best to balance it. So, like, for instance, just an example, if someone learned what macros were and they were able to have an unfair advantage in UE5, that's not that person's fault. That's the game's fault. So all they got to do is patch it.
That would never happen.
Never. Who would ever do that?
They fixed that at least.
Oh yeah, before tomorrow.
Yeah, the machine gun, pistol, rifle swap macro.
Oh my god! And that's just the beginning. Yeah. Fuck fire rate. Just use a macro.
But that's gonna be difficult.
It must be hard for the economic team because
I
myself gave them some feedback the day after they released Starbase. When I started, I grabbed my calculator and started like, okay, what is this? How much LP I get and how much is? And I was like, oh, guys, this is not good. This sucks. We are coming from labs that was a dream, but they had these 2 weeks where they could not get a real measurement of everything because half of the people had still their fleets in labs and they were crafting in labs and they were I was extracting resources in labs that are going to be more difficult to extract now in Starbase. So I also believe that it's the team's responsibility to balance the game, and we cannot blame one player that we know of for the fault of all the players that have found an exploit, and they will take advantage of that, especially when there's money involved.
That's
I did
why.
ask one of them, how did you pull that off? And he said he stayed up for 64 hours straight, moving. Wow. He said that he was delirious by the time it was done, but because of how often the transactions failed, like to actually accomplish it was a 64-hour event. And I was like, All right, right. There's
Yeah, fuck it.
there's no way I would ever put that much effort into something. So hats off
More power
to
to you.
you.
There's a lot of committed people here.
Yeah.
I think they said that one individual made what, like $65,000.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Wow.
But how
not too
much did he
shabby.
invest before that? You know,
Yep,
that's
yep,
something
yep,
that people need
Yeah.
to keep in mind.
yep.
Oh, he only invested a couple million. Like,
Yeah,
Exactly,
the thing
exactly.
is that the economy of Starbase is so different that it happens like as you were saying, Don Carlos, they didn't have enough data, real data, and at first
Yeah.
they had no data, so they had to estimate things, but then also thinking about what do we do when we have to balance things. We need to lower things and make it easier, because if we make it too easy at first and then we need to make it harder, everybody's going to complain a lot more. So let's be careful with that, and they said, okay, let's estimate things, but in a conservative way. So if we need to change things, which is almost for sure, uh, we can make it easier and everybody will be happier when we change in that way. But yeah, it's starting right now, since 2 days ago, that they are getting real data, but it's not almost real data yet, because
yeah.
everything is getting balanced. So they still need some time, but yeah, in the meantime, everybody is like, what, this is not working for us.
Can I ask you guys a thought question? Do you think you have a brand new player who buys an air bike, right? One air bike. Is there
Ouch.
any way for
Oh
that
shit.
player using game mechanics to get to a Mamba?
No.
Well,
Right?
no,
Like, is
right
there any
now.
way to take that one ship and turn that in without adding extra cash in to do it? And I was like,
It,
I think
yeah,
the economy team needs to be thinking about that. Like, this is a video game,
yeah,
and progress is how you get
I think
video
so.
gamers hooked.
I think so.
How would you do it?
Uh,
be a challenge.
obviously, the scholarship model would have to be.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking. So,
there's no way he could do it with
Not with the
himself.
current
But
mechanics. Yeah.
yeah, but it's still early phases with everything. I'm still really excited about the game. It's not very my cup of tea right now. Like, I'm just pretty much going around mining. But like with the
it's more than I'm
crafting
doing.
situ yeah, with the crafting situation, it's pretty difficult because once you need crew. So they're probably gonna have crew soon, and I think those crew are gonna be going nuts on the secondary market because oh hey, this crew looks cooler than this crew. I'm gonna buy this as my PFP. Oh, this crew, and then people are gonna be upgrading crew. Let's just say they're pretty
Very
skilled or leveled up. People don't want to do that, so they want to buy the leveled crew already. So people are going to have a training center for their crew. Hey, send me your crew. I'll train them up. This that. And also on crew, it's going to be interesting when you're in battles. Everything's on the blockchain, so you're going to be able to see. Oh, hey, this crew right here took down the first Titan. Like, oh, and everybody's going to be interested in that crew. And then, whenever they turn off combat mining, that's just another string they could pull with Sage and turn on the miners, turn on the claim stakes. We're still early. I'm excited to see what is going to come.
Yeah, what some dude said, I think that's a good challenge, but that's a good kind of maybe kind of North Star for the team is maybe through crew, someone could be a new player. Imagine they have to spend probably a month just to understand everything, but they come in and then maybe through crew, they have a way to trade up and to get a Mamba. So maybe the player profile of the team is thinking of that player in the future that just comes in and just buys one ship. Is there a path for them to get to a Mamba?
Yeah.
Progress is a video game logic, and like the way they hire psychologists and everything to keep you playing is it's all about progress. So
Yep.
you if somebody feels like, all right, I've been stuck in this same spot for 4 months, they're not coming back. So
Yeah.
I
But
Yeah,
it's
just think
even
Web
it
yeah.
three.
it's
It's Web 3 too, so you cannot compare it just one to gaming. Because once you get into Web 3 and you are expecting returns and you are considered an investor, there's no way anyone can spend $6 in real life and expect a return out of it. You cannot even keep a savings account with $6 a month.
yeah, but you'll
But
never
Um,
but
get
I
mass
think
adoption if that's
yeah,
the attitude.
I
Like
think
but
if you
this is
you
not
can't
a game
have
for
yeah.
mass adoption. This is not a game for mass adoption. This is a Web 3 game. It's the first true native Web 3 game, AAA. It is a very defined niche. I don't think we'll ever see 200 people, 200 million people playing Star Atlas, or
I
at
think
least
if
not very
I
easily.
think it's. I
if
think
it
it will be
stays the way it
possible.
is, yeah, I think if they can develop a really good UE5 experience.
Hmm.
So I think that it if they can, it just feels to me that we're going in two directions, and a big part of the people here right now would kind of prefer it to just be an expanded Sage Labs, but we're not talking about it, guys. But there is a big, giant behemoth on the horizon who has done this for 20 years. And are we going to really compete with the people that defined giant spaceship battles? So the edge that this company has is the UE5 experience, just in my opinion. So there will be a Web3 contender that knows how to do this because they've been doing it for 2 decades.
I think you guys said two very important things about this kind of progress. First thing is I agree. People need progress to be engaged and to keep playing it. But I think the scholarships and rental model will be a key, and also being crew in the future when people can be part of the crew of a big ship, for example, even if you don't own the ship, you can go and be part of the crew. Maybe that's a good experience if they do it right.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, at the same time, as Ron Carlos was saying, we can't expect with $6 or with an air bike to get a big ship very soon. That's not
Yeah.
realistic. In video games, in normal video games, yeah, you can maybe do it, but this is real money, so we need to find a balance in between those all those things together. So I think the rental mode and the the being crew, that kind of play mode, being crew in someone else's ship, that's gonna be also very important because a lot of people will be available for that. And then, for example, there's another thing: the races or things like that. Maybe you can be a good racer and win a lot of money just racing, just as an example of
yeah. It's
profession.
true.
Even if you don't
Yeah,
own any other ship.
yeah, you can't even get a game for $6 really, and then you know, yeah, I think we're a person with the air bike, like you said, a small investor with just an air bike. Skill will be a huge moneymaker. These
Yeah.
these very good gamers could come
Yeah,
and
yeah.
make a killing. By the way, some dude, I love your shirt.
Nice, nice. What's
Oh,
that?
dude,
You can say it.
Vanguard.
Uh,
it's that sweet Vanguard merch, Gallia Merchants. Go check it out.
nice. Yeah,
And,
nice.
and
Very
talking
nice.
about the horizon, Kepler, I did mention you. I saw this tweet by Beyond the Horizon 2620. I don't know if you guys know him. He's an
Yeah, he's awesome.
amazing content creator from the community. Shout out
Yeah.
to Beyond the Horizons. He posted a tweet talking about how crazy was this week that we're gonna enter next week. We have Bitcoin halving. We
Yeah.
have the Solana congestion node updates and bug fixes. We have Star Atlas in Dubai on the hackathon. We have the search event, the first search event with prizes that is aiming to have more than 1,000 players online simultaneously. We have the score deprecation, and then we have all these adjustments in Starbased. So what a week and what a summer is waiting for us. How are you guys getting ready for the search?
Yeah,
Oh
let's
yeah,
talk about search.
yeah.
Tomorrow.
They updated it. They did a lot of updates. The bot arena's updated. It's a different background. They went back to the old model of the you don't get like bots on your team. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Like, how many people can we really get?
They changed the map on us too. They moved the guns.
The
Yeah,
guns,
yeah.
they fixed a few bugs. Like we said earlier, you can't switch guns as fast, so you can't do that macro. Uh, yeah, I think what they said was they nerfed the Gatling gun, but it doesn't really look like
No,
it. And then
yeah.
they
To
said
me, yeah.
they nerfed the shotgun. They said, and they buffed the sniper rifle, so you could really reach out and touch someone.
The
But
sniper rifle is insane. It's just one shot. It doesn't You don't even need to hit
yeah,
the head.
one
You
shot.
can,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
it's a one shot kill. And I haven't really got to play with the sniper rifle too much, but yes, I like the game. I've been playing. Uh, sadly, I don't think I'm up to my skill level in other games. But I hopefully could get better before tomorrow.
Turn your mouse sensitivity way up. I heard that's great. You
Yeah,
gotta
they
get your mouse sensitivity all the way up to 100, and then you're good to go.
And then you're killing everywhere. Everybody everywhere.
it, it's just so weird. I think it's a different kind of. I don't think any game kind of translates to Surge. That's probably what's so fun, because everything about the third person, the movement, so different. It's just really unique. That's what's kind of cool about this part of the game's life cycle, is that we're all kind of like figuring it out as we go along. So to me, tomorrow should be. I mean, we're very competitive people here, but until we have a stable frame rate and all the, everything's optimized, where we can bring in people that don't really have a really powerful machine. I mean, we got a long way to go, but I'm blown away at what they've done so far.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
especially when you take into account that this is only a test. This is still a
Yeah.
test. So we are thinking about it like a game because for a test it's really good. I mean, we having a test like this so early and being able to play with 170 players that we had the last time in the same instance, the same big huge map. It's crazy for the first early tests. So yeah, we have a long way to go, but not
I
looking
don't
bad at all.
know if you guys were in the brew this week, but just being there is not enough. You're not going to be able to just log in and
No more AFK.
sit in the spawn location and collect the rewards. There
Yeah,
is like a number of actions that you have to take, and I don't they wouldn't tell what the rules are. They just said you have to play the game or you won't get any of the rewards. That might be a
Probably have to
surprise to some people.
register a kill or something at least.
Minimum,
Some
yeah.
Yeah.
Move
some.
around.
hmm But also, there's going to be some people that can't kill anybody.
Yeah,
uh,
this
but
game is really, it's fun and hard too. It's
yeah,
awesome what they did.
I'm already seeing a skill level uh, difference on some people. People are really grinding out, and I could already see the skill level esports kind of coming out, and excited about the future. Like shouting some people out, like Kel, Club Kel. He's a he's a monster in that game. Recent new member of Vanguard. A couple of the Rome guys, like I believe, like Mr. T or
Yeah,
Falcor.
Mr. T's a monster. Yeah.
They're monsters. We have Icy from Bulk. He's a monster. Gris, you're very good as well. I've seen Kepler.
All
He's
right.
always on top of the leaderboard. But there's
Man,
but but I but
not
I
last
see a
time.
few guys I see a few guys. Chowda shouted me out on his Twitter, but that he said I was slippery. He was destroying me. I don't know what he's talking about, but but he's very good, you know. But yeah, it's exciting to see the skill level on people already.
The only
Yeah,
thing that I hope they change is that they're to get like a shooter crowd. We got to find out tomorrow if we have mid range and long range. That kind of just hurts to someone.
They said
Uh,
they fixed it. It
I
said it
hope
in the patch.
so.
It says patch
Oh
note
my
says they
God, I
fixed it.
hope so. Because
They
like
said
if you, it's just we got to be able to like register a shot. That's what I hope changes.
yeah. I was going to ask that about the sniper rifle. How long,
Mhm.
how far is it gonna work? You know, the bullet, is it gonna get far
Yeah, the
away?
range
Yes,
is a
yeah.
big problem. Range is a big problem with all weapons. Like I'll have the battle rifle or the long rifle, and he doesn't look that far, but it's not even reaching him. So I haven't tried out the sniper yet, but I know for the other guns, it wasn't. Hopefully they extended the range a little bit because you have to actually get on top of people to shoot.
Yeah, yeah. And you know it's
which
funny
time period
too.
are you guys
Which is
doing?
not bad for
I'm doing
campers.
Morning.
morning.
Cap, you in the morning
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I think so, and I will try to wake up for the other one because it's gonna be 5 in the morning for me. But
Cool.
I
I'll
will
try to do both.
try. I'm not sure because right now my wife's telling me that my kid is sick again with
Oh no.
high temperature. Yeah, right now. So I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to play at
Mm.
least the second one. But right now I see almost 600 people sign up for the first event, and
Nice.
almost
Wow.
450 people sign up to the second event. So how many people do you think we're gonna get? Because last time it was 170, I think, more or less the same. Yeah, more or less like that. And right now, a lot of people is signing up for the event. But
They release
are they
some
gonna be
tier
there?
prices, right? Depending on how many people participated. If 600 participate, we most likely will get a crew drops, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Yep.
highest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
I
like,
think
oh,
you have to
same in
have.
you because I don't have a gaming PC.
I
I think
think
a
I think you.
thousand is the
Oh,
best.
Yeah, I think 300 is the first level you get a NFT crew member, and
Yeah.
I could see us getting 300 to tell you the truth.
yeah. I think
500 is kind of. I think it's going to be a little rare.
Hopeful.
Um,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think
hopeful.
maybe
Anything over that, no.
350, 400. It would be awesome. But what would be really fun is that if we do get to that number, it's just going to be complete madness, which would make it really fun.
And is that going to be concurrent users?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, so they're not going to add like, okay, hey, this person logged in at the PM session, but not the AM. You
No,
know,
Yeah.
it's
It has
gonna
to
be
be
like
concurrent.
markers, like bing, 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 bing. Okay, this is many. We're online at the same time.
and like the two sessions, like obviously one session is significantly less people signed up because different time zones and stuff. Uh, I'll be there at the 11 o'clock or sorry, my 11 o'clock, and then the other one's 8 p.m. my time, which I'll have a hockey game, so I'll miss the first half, but I'll be there the second half. But we'll send a good old dead shot or something there to get some wins for for
Yeah.
us. But he's a pretty
And then
decent
the
player.
crew drop is going to be from the race of the faction that wins. So everyone is going
Yeah.
to
Right.
get some humans at the end, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the interesting enough is that at first I thought that it was gonna be a prize for the winning faction, and it's not like that. It's gonna be a prize
Right,
for
for everyone.
everybody, but the prize is gonna be in the form of the winning faction, like a crew member of the winning faction. But everybody playing that is gonna receive it because they what they
Oh,
really need what they really need is people
Yeah.
people playing at the same time. So they
is
want us
that
to be
bad if I
there.
want the Oosters to win then? Because their rare one looks so cool.
They have the best
like
skin.
Like he's got like gold coming down his side and it like shimmers and stuff. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Should have given.
The rare
Should have
mud
given us.
guy has like
Yeah,
a skull on his face. It's like,
yeah. Why
Yeah.
did they give us the little mama mud? What about that, man? The little female mud. That's who should have got.
Oh, we have Stick, the Spanish moderator. Uh, hello, hello. Yeah, it's in English. Welcome, welcome. So, anything else you guys want to say about Surge?
All I can say is
Okay.
that I envy you. I wish I have to build a gaming PC because I'm a Mac user, so I have to build a PC for this. But I've been trying to delay it as much as I can, so I can buy something that is actually useful for a few years. But
we'll
I
get
guess with the launch of 2.2, I'm gonna have to jump on that right away.
we'll get some kills in your name, buddy. I'll be like, this
Please
Yeah.
one's
do.
for Drum Carlos.
We're gonna have to we're to coordinate in a very very good way because the rest of the factions are already practicing and coordinating also, but we are getting a good coordination in Mod Empire, by the way. So yeah, we can invite you guys watching to join us in Mod Empire if you want to join us, if you're a mod and you want to join and coordinate together for Surge or for Starbased or whatever. I will put the link in the description of the video, and you can just come to the Discord, ask for whatever to join and to be part of Mod Empire. You can also join our guilds. We are the club, bulk, deep, profit, and I think that's it, right? Am I missing one?
Well, and
Also, I put a hit out on
your guild and
Santi.
mine.
Wait, Sandy has a hit.
I put a hit out on Santi because he was talking shit on Twitter. So
Isn't
the
he
first,
swimming somewhere in the desert?
well, yeah, he's in Dubai swimming right now, but he's talking a lot of smack. So whoever sends me the first clip of them killing Santi, I'll send 1 million of each R4.
Bam.
So
Nice.
hit me up with some dude SC if you get a video of it. That's
Do you have
true.
to squat over his body multiple times?
Oh, yeah,
or-
teabag him.
No, I just
Teabag Bunny.
honorable kills only.
Hey, that's our first official. That's the first official bounty, I think, right?
Yeah, I was
Official
like, I love you,
bounty.
bro,
Oh,
but
wow.
you can't talk that.
A
You
couple days
can't talk
ago
that
in
much
the
smack.
channel chat.
Either we talk
All
all
right.
at the same time or nobody talks.
Exactly.
That was funny. Yeah. Okay, so
Silent.
no, it was fun and it was a great chat together. If you guys want to say something else, invite somebody else to something else that I forgot. You have to do it now because we're gonna wrap it up very soon. Do you want to say something else?
I think we're good. Looking forward for the next one.
All good.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys, in the chat also. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a good time and also some good ideas or theory crafting or brainstorming or whatever, and something to think about. And see you tomorrow at Search. And well, see you if you're mod. We want you to join us in Mod Empire if you want to come with us. So just go to the link in the description. Thank you, Drum Carlos. Thank you, Solas. Thank you, Some Dude. Thank you, Grist.
Thank you, everybody. Hey, give some dude 82 on YouTube a follow or like. You know, he has a good channel for Star Citizen and Star Atlas. Grist, I don't know yours right off the top of my head, but
It's Club
just
Grist.
Club Grist. He has a lot of cool little Star Atlas gameplay videos that show some pretty cool meta about like sliding and jump shooting and all that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you for everybody for coming.
Yeah, I have an idea.
Bye.
Just send me in our Discord. Send me the links to the channels on the Twitters, whatever, and I will put them all in the description. so people can
Okay.
just watch and follow whatever we do, all the things that we do, and we can also put a bounty on Stick. He's saying dead mods.
Oh yeah, let's
Okay.
get him.
So cute.
Another bounce.
You know.
Not good, not good, Stick. You're losing points very fast.
I also believe Drum Carlos puts this uh on voice only on your radio channel, correct?
Oh yeah, the 426 426fm.com. We have the Metaverse Radio.
For
We're
sure.
gonna be launching these episodes as well.
We're so famous, guys. It's like
Yeah. No, it's a good group of friends and mates, having a good chat and uh, talking about interesting things. So people,
Oh
you
yeah.
have to come next time again. Next Friday, I think we will be here. We're gonna do it most Fridays. I say most because sometimes life has some things,
Gets the
unexpected
best of us.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so most Fridays we're gonna be here, and just follow on Twitter also, Command Deck SA, and just stay tuned. We're gonna announce when we have a new podcast, and see you next time. Thanks a lot, everyone, for coming. See you.
Bye.